Good morning. It is June 9th, I think, 2020, and I wanted to do a quick garden update. There is still a lot of undone stuff, but there's a lot of stuff really looking beautiful. So a quick overview shows you that I do not have all the mulch down yet, and we're using straw, and we bought this from the farm store. It's very small pieces. It's different than what I've used before, and I am not loving it, but it is better than not having anything. So that's taking a little more time, but anyways. So here are a few chamomiles that I started. The onions you can see doing well. Also here is some dill that comes back from seed, and we usually have a ton of dill because the swallowtails like it, so we make sure we have enough. This is some oregano and some grass, another dill. Anyway, they're all going well. This here and that one there are bulbs that I planted last year, dug up in the fall and replanted. They have a really pretty, I can't remember what they are, but they have a really pretty flower, yellow and pink flowers. These are my tomatoes, and they're doing well. Some of them have a little blossom going on. I'm going to try to change my position to manage the shadows. Let me come around this side. Yeah, this is better. So there's a lot of blossoms starting. They've grown a lot. They've been in the ground maybe for a month. Not a month, maybe 3 weeks. I started them some in March, some in April, but they're doing well. All of this, these leaves are turnips. They came from seed, so from last year I usually let a couple go, and we love turnips best pickled. Right here you can see some teeny weeny greens. I planted these kind of as an afterthought, and they're coming up. Just some lettuces, a few more tomatoes. As we head down this way, there's some stuff going on and a whole lot more to go on. This is called lemon squash, and I got these seeds new this year from Baker Creek Seeds. They're lemon shaped, but not lemon flavored, and they're supposed to be more resistant to the squash vine borers and other pests that tend to really bother zucchini. Here and down the way a bit are 2 hills of yellow zucchini. And also here, I just noticed this morning, there is this and this and a couple more, and these are the Keuka Melons that I had planted here last year, and I'm delighted that they've come back because I did plant a couple in pots actually more than a month ago, and they are not as big as this one that's coming up in the ground, so I'm going to probably move those and get them on a trellis. These are cucumbers starting to come up, some different types. This is a tomato volunteer from last year. I'm not exactly sure what kind it is. These are also cucumbers. This is something that either got misplaced and started here or dropped from last year, but cucumbers. This is and that one. There are 2 that are squash patty pan, different colors, green, yellow, and white. And I'm going to go back to the squash in a minute. These are the long beans, and I had a whole lot more long beans, but I had a critter that ate everything that wasn't in this fence. So that is a little blob of cat hair to hopefully discourage them. And I'm paying attention. I may or may not plant some more. This year I have red as well as green, and I really want to make sure I get enough of the red to save a few seeds. So with the zucchini, I had seen online some people talking about, not all zucchini, summer squash I'll say, planting radishes around the summer squash. Here's another one. To discourage the bugs that tend to do damage. And so I thought I had some seeds. I didn't have, and they're not. So here they're starting to come up. This was just last week. So those are radishes. And these are not radishes to pick and eat, but just apparently there's something about the smell. And then this is the patty pan squash. This is a zucchini of some sort. Just a few lettuces in a pot, and then these are bush beans, all bush beans. Something got in, so a lot of them have redone. Everything on this end is regrowth. You can kind of see they're a little bit smaller over here and taller and fuller over there. Those have had a better chance, while these got eaten and started again. So, but they'll be all right. Some more onions and a little oregano. Now here, these are all just about on the end. Kale and some lettuces. I did plant a couple of hills of zucchini in there today or yesterday, and in here the same, because they're radishes, they just don't do well once it gets warm, that kind of thing. These are the peas, doing well. I did put a chick wire around that to protect them when I noticed that there was something coming in and eating everything, and same with the beets. And the beets are a little tight, but I think they'll be okay. All of this right here, the bricks in the big pot, there's a board under that and a grating from an old grill because there was a groundhog coming up. So I poured some hot pepper and some cat hair, put a few barriers up, and so far that's kept him from coming in, which is good because he or she was doing a lot of damage. These are my okra starting to come up down the row. This is a row of climbing beans that got eaten, so I just replanted them. Two different types, so we can see which one we like best. These are also beans, and again, these are covered with netting, and you can see how on this side they're doing okay, but down there they're a little weaker. We had to replant. I don't remember exactly what I put here. This was kind of newly planted, I think, like an Asian-y kind of cabbage. We were thinking about trying to make some kimchi. Over here, there's that sunflower that I'm sure was from the bird seed. A couple of tomatoes that are volunteer. There were some good ones over here last year, so I'm going to leave those. A couple of turnips, and then I put some, you can see the row of tomatoes there. That was the last of the plants that I had that I thought were strong enough to get in the ground, and they are looking really good. My cage here to remind me to do that. These are all the peppers. Again, my shadow isn't working very well for me. I'm gonna try to, there we go. And they're doing well. Some of them are really mature like this one, and some of them are still kind of small like this one, but I'm happy with how they're doing. We have some blossoms on. Over here, mostly herbs, the lemon balm, which I harvested, washed or rinsed and dried what ended up filling a gallon Ziploc bag, and you can see that they basically bounced back. That was less than 2 weeks ago. This is my sage. There's some onions, and I'm letting some onions go to seed. A little more sage. The other thing that I'm really excited about over here, and there's a lot of weeds, so I will be out here to this one here, and these two here are Malabar spinach. So they're a green that does better in hot weather, and they climb. So I'm excited about those. They're doing well, and we'll be able to save seeds if we like those. I watched a YouTube video. I can't remember who did it, but she did a great job telling me how to save seeds. The last thing I want to show you today, down here in the herbs and onions, is this chamomile plant. This is my most mature one. You can see some of the blooms. They're pretty little daisies, and right now with the petals folded backwards, I should have picked that one yesterday. That means that it's just a little bit beyond its prime, and that's okay. I'm still going to get it, but you can see there are a lot of blooms going to be starting, and these blossoms I trim and dry, and we make tea out of. So yeah, so that's what's going on. This other side is my darling husband's side, and you can see there's a lot of tomatoes. Those are all San Marzanos. He's going to stake them up with a pole, and then up the top half of the garden is mostly peppers and hot peppers and a corner of potatoes. So anyway, so this is what's going on, and yeah, I'm happy. So take good care, be kind to one another, grow some stuff. Let me know if you've got some questions. Have a great day.